we are. The end of the road. At least for this part of the story. I set out to turn my life into a sitcom, which, in hindsight, was a wildly ambitious choice, Holly. Sitcoms tackle some hard stuff, sure. Breakups, divorce, death, the occasional half-sibling if they're feeling particularly bold. But they don't usually cram abuse, addiction, assault, loads of death, and secret families into a full series, let alone a single season. Still, there is another storytelling trick sitcoms in real life seem to agree on. It's the big season finale. The end of one chapter, the beginning of another. And most sitcom season finales end with a shocking twist.
That's what you psychiatrists always do. Drag everything out in the open so we can work through it, no matter how awkward it might be. Well, I just don't see the point.
Daphne, I'm glad he told me, because I love you.
Hi, Ross.
Take the Emily.
Take the Rachel.
She expired.
Are you sure?
But here's the thing. Those moments aren't iconic because they're shocking. They work because they finally bring years of emotional tension to a head, like those pimple-popping videos you little freaks out there like to watch.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
A great twist isn't memorable just because it's juicy or salacious. It's memorable because there's a payoff. It's years of hope, fear, denial, and uncertainty finally boiling over into one moment that changes everything. And when it's over, you realize the person you've been watching isn't the same person you met in episode 1. That's what we weirdos here at Everybody Knows But Me, otherwise known as the single-person Olsen & Olsen Mystery Agency, accidentally did.
We solve any crime by dinner time, or else.
Instead of starting at the beginning, I worked backwards. I started with what I thought was the biggest twist of my damn life. Finding out I had twin brothers that everybody kept a secret, and trying to figure out why I was so terrified to meet them. But along the way, I realized that wasn't actually the twist. That realization made me think of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's season 4 finale. Papa's got a brand new excuse.
We're back!
Bye-bye. Did you have a good time?
We rode every roller coaster in the park. Yo, I almost threw up like 3 times. That's my boy.
For 4 seasons, Will Smith is the funniest guy in every room. He's confident, charming, resilient. He can joke his way through just about anything. Then his father, Lou, shows up for the first time in years. Will keeps his guard up at first, but little by little, he lets him back in and starts believing maybe this time will be different. And then his father leaves again. When Uncle Phil tries to comfort him, Will does what he's always done. He gets defensive. He starts listing all the things he learned to do without his dad. His survival mechanisms were on full display.
Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first date without him, right? I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to fight without him.
Then the mask cracks, and he delivers an iconic, heartbreaking line that stayed with me for decades.
How come you don't want me, man?
All of Will's confidence, humor, and toughness weren't evidence that he wasn't hurting. They were evidence of how hard he'd learned to hide it. And that eventually, you can't hide it forever. It would also be easy to watch that episode and decide Lou is just some cartoon villain. But he isn't. At least, not to me anymore. He's selfish, he's unpredictable, he breaks promises. But he's also charismatic, exciting, and convincing. And he's Will's father. As an adult, I don't just relate to Will. I relate to the questions underneath his breakdown. I had countless times when I'd look at my parents and think, Why wasn't I enough? Why couldn't you stop hurting me? What did I do to deserve this? I carried those questions for years. Every year, the chip on my shoulder got a little heavier until eventually I realized it weighed me down so much that it was preventing me from living. There was a younger version of me desperately waiting for answers and still trying to make sense of the people who were supposed to raise her. She believed that if she could solve the mystery of why things happened the way they did, she would be fine. Dang, she deserved a lot more than fine. She deserved the chance to grow into her own life instead of spending the rest of it trying to untangle everyone else's. And to do that meant no more secrets, no more gray area, total authority over my own story. So whether anyone was comfortable with it or not, even my twin brothers, who I had literally just met, I knew I was gonna do this. I needed to know what the payoff felt like after decades of questions. But healing isn't a straight line. Doing something this important for myself meant involving other people. People with their own memories and their own pain, their own versions of the story. And I think that's what stops so many of us from confronting the things we've held on to for years. Not just that we're afraid of the truth, it's that we're afraid the truth might hurt someone we love. I've made this project with my family in mind every single step of the way. I love them so much, and the last thing I ever want is to cause them pain. But I'd also be dishonest if I told you everyone reacted the same way. Some people found clarity, everyone had moments of reflection, some disagreed with the way I remembered certain events. Naturally, some heard what they wanted to hear. And I don't blame them. In fact, I feel closer to everybody after knowing their reaction. Because I've realized my responsibility is over, done, kaput, fin. I've developed a superpower to love everybody exactly as they are, regardless of what their takeaway from this show has been, which is a hell of an emotional upgrade. I started with more of a Batman origin story. You know, dead parents, unresolved trauma, lots of resentment and brooding. But during this process, I got bit by a radioactive guidance counselor and turned into goddamn mutant Mr. Feeney.
Feeney? Feeney? Ow!
And I finally let myself be exactly who I am. Because you don't have to earn your story. You don't have to earn being believed. So, let's be honest about how my family reacted, shall we? Time for one last chat with my dad's sisters. From Next Chapter Podcasts and Companion Arts, this is Everybody Knows But Me, Episode 10. The one with the season finale.
I'm in a unique position to talk to people as this podcast is happening and see how everyone's feeling and like what we've all taken, like how we've thought about this really weird thing that I've put everybody through. And I couldn't have done it. I might have done it no matter what, even if people didn't want me to. Who knows? There's a world in which I might have done it no matter what, but
You would have.
I think you would have.
I do think deep down, I knew that I would do something that no one would be mad at the end of the day. Even if it was uncomfortable, I was like, I promise, just let me guide you there. So I just firstly want to thank you all because I know that this has probably been a little uncomfortable at times. And it's been super difficult on my end. So I can only imagine in a different position of like learning new things and hearing this so intimately in your ears, how that must have felt. But so I want to start off by saying thank you. And I love you all so much. And it's just
Well,
been,
we love you too, and thank you for doing it. I
yeah.
mean, it's been great, I think, very eye-opening.
Cathartic for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might as well just start at the beginning or where we're at right now and just ask everybody how this has felt. And you can be totally honest with me. I think you know by now I can handle it.
The only thing
You can
the only thing I feel really bad about is that you think everybody knew but you, but that's not true. Your dad did reach out to his sisters. He needed help.
Yes.
He needed help. He needed help financially. He needed help. He felt terrible. I mean, he felt so terrible that he could not be in these boys' lives. He has two children that he can't be in their life. But my kids had absolutely no idea. My two children had no idea that there were secret twins. And
oh, my kids knew for sure. We called them the secret cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, Cheryl Ann hated every minute of it. She was like,
Yeah.
I hate this because I said, you can't say anything. Uncle Mark asked us not to say anything.
Well, and I think I talked to you, KJ, that this was Mark's the one who had to tell them. It wasn't our place to tell his kids that they had half brothers, And actually, when he
I don't know, looking back, I think it was my place.
Yeah, I should have said something too now looking back. Because it got right up to the point where he was going to die and he still hadn't told him. And I said, you are not, I threatened your dad. I'm like, you are not going to leave me with this secret because it's going to come out, Mark, and you need to tell your kids.
I don't know if anyone realized what a burden he placed on me, Casey, and Carson by not meeting them, because then it puts us in the position of we knew our dad, you didn't. We didn't choose this. And I felt like when I was 20, I had no idea how to talk about that with younger boys. And I had lived such a life of difficulty. And I don't know exactly the life that I know that their life was not easy. And I can't wait for all of us to cathartically get to talk about it together.
When the podcast first came out, I reached out to them and asked them if they had listened to it because I said, you're going to hear some hard truths about your dad that I know your mom never told you. Whether she even knew, I don't think she even knew.
And I knew that, and it felt like a burden that I did not know how to deal with because I didn't know how to, that was not my reality. And I wasn't gonna, it was hard to have all that stuff happen to you and then feel like you're in a position to then pretend to these boys.
Exactly.
So I just didn't know how to deal with it until now. And
I would think if it had happened earlier, if you'd met them when you were much younger, you would have been really angry, more angry at their belief or their perception of your father versus the reality.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that you're able to handle that now.
I think one of my questions was, if this has changed, if this whole thing has changed to your perception of how we ended up meeting them or why I didn't want to meet them. And so it
has mine because it changed a lot of my perception or a lot of my feelings because I thought, honestly, the only reason you didn't want to meet them is just because you were angry and pissed. And there was a little of that, but there was so much more. And, I hope after you did find out about them, I'd hope that I never put pressure on you to meet them.
We did at Thanksgiving, and I don't even know how that all happened.
Well, I meant for years before, because you knew about them years before you met them.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And so for years before, once you found out, was it like immediately, did you feel like we had all pressured you to meet them?
Oh, it was, I would say over the course of a very long time, I've known about them for so long. It was like varying levels where it would be maybe a little pressure here, but then also an understanding that there's just a simmering, we want you guys to meet because why wouldn't you? And that was something that I now understand in doing this podcast is the position that you all were in. And I did not know that. It was not something I could think about when I learned about this when I was 17. But now I understand that a lot better.
I had no idea. And it makes a lot of sense when you talk about how you had to process it and how you had to be ready and how, there were things you had to go through before you got to that point, and it makes total sense. It
Yeah.
didn't always to me, because I would think if someone called me and said, you have two twin brothers you don't know, I'd want to meet them immediately. But I'm 60 plus years old. We won't go into exactly how many 60 years that is, but so it's real easy for me to sit here and say what I would do,
Hmm.
but I don't know what I would have done at 17 or
Right.
14
Yeah.
or, probably the same thing you did, Holly, because whether, you really believe it or not, you and I are really a lot alike in personalities.
Now we know even more.
That middle child,
Yeah, I know.
Well, it made me understand a whole lot more, Holly, because for a little bit of time I didn't understand, and I'm like, Carson really wanted to meet his brothers, and the whole holdup was Holly, because I even offered to fly Carson out to Texas to meet his brothers, and he said, "No, we've got to do it together."
Good for Carson, because you did.
And I get that now, I do, but at first I'm like, "Oh, so what's the holdup?" And he,
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, just go meet them. Big deal. They're just kids. I mean, they're just whatever. But now I can understand.
now I get, yes, yeah, we didn't understand it.
So you
Yeah.
helped us all, Holly.
This has been good for all of us, all of us.
I have just I'm just in awe of all three of you of how much you love your parents. No, despite what they put you through. Like that capacity that you guys have to love is just amazing to me. I don't know if I have it, but I don't think I do. But the fact that you do, it's just incredible.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And can I say something, Holly? I love you to death. You know that. But I was the last episode, I was a little taken back. And that's why I haven't texted you or talked to you, because I've been trying to process and thinking about it. Because I'm like, Holly has so much love in her heart. She's such an empathetic person, but never once do I hear any empathy about her half brothers. Like, here they are. I mean, it's Thanksgiving. It's a big family meal. You say, oh, but did you ever once stop and think they don't have a big family? They don't have hardly anybody. And we wanted to really include them. And did you ever think, here they are, no mom, no dad?
Yeah.
Did you ever
Well,
stop and think, well,
I
maybe
think this is my way of showing that is by saying it was never that I didn't care about them. It was never that I didn't have empathy for them. I I felt like we were dealing with so much through, and it was unrelenting and didn't end. I felt as a child, a brain could only handle so much at once. And I just couldn't, when I felt like my life was hanging on by a thread, and I still felt that way even when I was an adult in my 20s, because my mom, we all knew she wasn't doing the proper steps to probably recover, but I was trying to showcase in the show that we were just so desperate for a parent that we weren't necessarily handling it the right way, or we didn't know how to handle addiction. So I was so focused on trying to make sure that no one else was dying that it was really hard to stop and give more energy to something that I also was felt these really complicated, unresolved feelings about because of my dad, and it
Well,
was never that I didn't care about them, and that's what, unfortunately, my mom passing helped me understand how to communicate this better, because I can understand why it would come across that way.
but just over the Thanksgiving thing. And I don't even know how that all came to be, honest to God.
I know it's complicated. There's a lot
I
of
feel so
moving
bad
parts.
about that now, but I'm thinking, did she ever stop to think, oh, I want this done on our time and I don't want it at Thanksgiving, but what are those boys going to do at Thanksgiving if they weren't invited?
Yes, we absolutely did think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like, I only included snippets of what was discussed with Casey, and Carson, but yeah, definitely we absolutely thought of that. It just wasn't something that I think it was such a curveball that it was a process to understand how we handle it. So I think I've always felt misunderstood to some degree, and I know
you were.
now I know that, yeah, now I know that that is part of it, is like kind of knowing that there's this disconnect of what people understand about our choices. And I felt so mad at my parents' choices often that felt like they influenced my own choices, that I was like, I need there to be some collective understanding for myself that some of the choices I made were because of that maybe people have questions about were not my choices alone. You know, they were built by a lifetime of other people's choices.
Well,
And
could it also be maybe, and I don't know, I just thought of this, you know, you in your mind, you're thinking, well, my dad never even met him, so what's the big deal? Like, I mean, it's not like they're a part of his life, so why are they a part of mine?
Oh, 100%. I mean, that was definitely top of mind when we first found out about him.
Yeah,
like, he can't meet them because my dad didn't meet them, so we can't meet them. And then once he passed, then it became a little like, then it was just this ladder of steps to finally meet them. I think like couldn't meet them when my dad was alive. Mom was hanging on by a thread, had to take care of her, and we just wanted a parent. Then turns out that's not how that works, and you just need to live your own life without having to worry about other people. And it's not something that I really realized until now. So
you can't live your own life without worrying about other people.
Yeah.
And especially your loved ones. I mean, you did what you had to do, and you did the right thing for you. And I'm glad you did.
We're just all so proud of you, Holly. Oh my gosh. We have a star in the family again. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. I won't take up more of your time. I truly can't tell you how grateful I am that you gave me more time today even to talk about this, because this is really unique. No podcasters get this. We don't get to be able to like talk to our family as the podcast is coming out. Is really unique. And I think it's like really beautiful, a testament to the show's thesis of like, it's possible to love people like no matter what, no matter when.
No matter what hell you go through.
Yeah.
We love you.
We love you to death. Yay.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Now, how do I go away?
I think there might be a little guy with a red door that says leave somewhere.
Oh, there is. He's so cute.
Oh, there he is.
Bye, honey. Love you.
Bye. Love you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd asked 17-year-old Holly what she wanted, she probably would have said answers. If you'd asked 25-year-old Holly, she probably would have said justice. 34-year-old Holly, she just wanted to be heard. And my family all listened, literally, to this podcast. Some of my aunts even referred to every episode as a single podcast, as in, I just finished today's podcast. And that brings me an unreasonable amount of glee every time. I love those rascals. During our conversation, though, my Aunt Cecilia made a surprising comment that caught me off guard. She asked whether, in the lead up to Thanksgiving, I'd stop to think about how my brothers might feel if we changed the plans my family had made. It was when she used the word empathy that made me realize just how differently we'd all experienced this secret. My dad decided to keep my brothers a secret. He asked his family to keep that secret too. He decided not to meet them. Then, after he died, Casey, Carson, and I had to figure out how to live with the consequences of choices we never made. Very few people ever stop to ask what it actually felt like to be the kid living inside those decisions. What it felt like to discover your family had kept a life-changing secret from you. What it felt like to inherit my dad's choices. To suddenly become responsible for building a relationship under the most complicated of circumstances. And yet, my empathy was questioned while I was dealing with yet another life-changing moment I had lost control of. Before anyone ever asked how it would feel, the decision had already been made for me to meet my brothers at Thanksgiving. And I know that came from love, I really do. But it also came from a heaping serving of assumptions, a side of expectations, and a whole gravy boat of misunderstanding poured on top. It echoed the same feelings I'd been dealing with since my dad died. That what I needed didn't matter, and it was my responsibility to make everything okay for my twin brothers. Their happiness, their holidays, their situation, to heal a wound none of us had created. Of course, I thought about my brothers. All the time. Just not in the way everyone assumed. I thought about them while trying to keep my own family alive, while keeping myself alive, while grieving both of my parents, while trying to become someone who was emotionally ready to meet them. I had to get through all of that first, before I could get to them. Through making this podcast, I've come to understand my dad's decisions and my family's more than I ever thought I would. And one of the greatest gifts they've given me is the freedom to wrestle with those decisions openly, alongside them, until we've found something that feels a lot closer to understanding. Not because I agree with everyone's choices, or that I would have made the exact same ones, but I have empathy for every single one of them. Because I finally understood the impossible paths forward everyone was trying to navigate, including me. And now, for the first time in my life, I get to think about them as just my brothers. I met my brothers while I was already well into writing this podcast, and I told them about it only a few months after we'd spoken for the very first time. And I was terrified. I didn't know if they'd respect my choice to publicly investigate this secret we all belong to, or if they'd understand it was never really about them at all. I kept thinking, they're 20, maybe they won't get it. But their response surprised me.
So my perspective is that whenever you are really looking back on a story or a time or a memory or your life, being able to articulate it in a digestible manner, like a story or a podcast or whatever, is so important to truly understanding how you truly feel about it. Because us as humans, we all have regrets, right? That's the pain and the joy of the human experience. But the closer you can get to your true feelings, the better, right? The less those regrets are going to hurt down the line. And so being able to articulate it, being able to tell it in your own way in humor and practice it and really think about it and put it into a story that's digestible for you and me, I think that that is one of the best, if not the best way to properly understand what the hell just happened for the past 30, 40 years, right? And so I'm all for it. I think laughing is the best medicine, and telling a story is the best way to deliver that medicine. So I believe that it's truly a great thing, and I absolutely love it. And I've been supportive of the start.
Personally, I was like, I was never a secret to me, and I was very excited to meet you guys at whenever it was, and I'm honestly surprised it was this long, but I mean, I kind of understand it in a way. I'm just glad that it is the way it is now. I will say that for sure, and I hope that there is another, maybe longer term, not longer term, but like less than 2 days at Thanksgiving. Maybe there's a Christmas somewhere, hopefully somewhere in Texas or in California. Maybe there's a Christmas in the future or a different outing where we have more time together, I hope.
Yeah, not around 40 some odd people too.
Yeah.
While talking to them about this podcast, I learned another piece of information that helped me make sense of everything. My younger brothers had known about us for as long as they could remember right from the start. They didn't even know the secret of them existed. For them, we'd always been a presence. For me, they appeared when I was 17, shrouded in mystery. Our experiences meeting were never going to be the same. They haven't listened to this podcast yet, and I don't blame them or expect them to. This is a lot to digest all at once. Just like they've spent years thinking about meeting us, I've spent years sifting through family secrets, trying to make sense of a life that truly felt stranger than fiction. I hope they listen someday, whenever they're ready. Because while this project has become a lot of things, an investigation, a comedy, a tragedy, a family reunion, a love letter to the relationship we could have had, it's also the reason I was able to meet them in the first place. When I was younger, I wanted a perfect sitcom family to reach out and save me from my life. But when you grow up, you realize things like that don't happen in the real world. I might not get that sitcom life I dreamed about. But then again, there's always reruns. Ugh. Come on. Why is this remote not working?
Everybody Knows But Me is brought to you by the healing power of flying full speed down a slip and slide into a kiddie pool, and the prophesied return of the Pizza Hut Summer Reading Challenge that was foretold long ago. Our show is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Huh? What? Where am I? This looks so familiar. Wait, what's going on here? A poster of Lance Bass, a beat-up VHS of Clueless, an iguana that looks like a dead ringer for the one I named Lizard McGuire back in 6th grade. Is this my room from the Osborne house? But that's impossible. I know I had probably 2 or 3 more margaritas than I really needed at the podcast wrap party last night, but I definitely don't remember time traveling. Oh God, what if I blacked out and broke into the bedroom of a random stranger who's also obsessed with Boy Meets World? Quick, Holly, get under the bed.
Hey, Holly. Sorry to surprise you. You doing okay down there?
Okay, wow, you found me pretty much immediately.
Well, that is a child's bed you're hiding under, and you're what, 5'10"?
6'2", depending on the heels I'm wearing, thank you. Oh, and by the way, who are you?
So if you weren't so used to life being absolutely batshit, I'd warn you how weird this is gonna sound. But I know you well enough to just dive in and say, take a look, HB. I'm you.
Hold up, pump the brakes. You're saying you're me.
Yeah. Just think of yourself before your knees started popping like shotgun blasts every time you bent down to tie a shoelace.
Well, I don't remember being so goddamn rude at your age. Prove it. What did I name my Furby?
Easy. That's a trick question. We were too poor to buy a Furby, so we had an uglier knockoff brand called Chinchilla. By the way, you kept all the Beanie Babies, right? Tell me we become like totally rich off them.
Ooh, I've got some tough news for you. But wait, like really, how is this happening? How are we both here?
Another easy question. It's a dream sequence, you melonhead. Wanna go talk to Mom?
Right now? Does that mean that...
Even your other lizard moose is here. Everybody's here. Come on, let me show ya.
Hang on. This actually isn't the Osborne house. This is a sound stage.
Now you're starting to get it, older me. This isn't just any old dream. This is your dream, our dream, the one we always wanted. It's the sitcom of our life. You ready?
Holly's here. Or should I say Hollies are here. I'm so glad you made it.
Dad?
Hey, sweetie, sit down. Mom and Kars cooked us an incredible meal.
Casey and I saved you a spot between us. And before you ask, Mom made sure I didn't make anything hot enough to induce vomiting.
Wait up. If she sits there, then where am I gonna sit?
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Holly. Real World Holly is our special guest. Please, honey, have a seat.
Wow, Mom, some things never change. How about we take turns, okay? First, I'll sit and eat, and then you can... Whoopee cushion. Real mature, guys. Did you all come up with that plan together?
And you left me out of the plan completely?
We didn't think of it until you left to go get yourself. Also, we worried there might be some kind of metaphysical telepathic connection between you two that would spoil the surprise. But tell us, adult Holly, what do you think of the show? Is it everything you thought it would be?
Actually, the idea of just like a wholesome family dinner feels kind of novel. But all in all, it's just so surreal.
But, like, are you like a big celebrity now? Do you go water skiing with Spider-Man? Are you like best friends with Mr. Bean?
Interesting what your idea of success is, Cars. But I already asked her, and it sounds like the best she's got is riding the public bus driven by a guy who kinda looks like Mr. Feeney.
Hey now, honey. There's more to life than being rich and famous. I mean, don't get me wrong. A 3-picture movie deal and book tour would be fine by me. Plus, maybe like a spoken word album or an HBO special wouldn't hurt.
Mark, darling, would you kindly shut up for a second?
Right.
Really, Holly, the main thing we want to know is, are you happy?
Happy? Am I? I guess I don't know.
I think what your mother means is, did you get to do what you wanted out of this? You told your story, our story, without fear, without doubt, and with some pretty damn funny bits mixed in. Are you okay now? Are you ready to move forward?
I think I've been okay for a while now. I think I know who I am now, the real me. The one I'm ready to love just as much as I love all of you, which is kind of why I'd like to stay here for a little while, maybe. Just a little bit longer.
You know what I love about this timeline? I don't have to drive everyone everywhere, aka break the law on a daily basis, something I am firmly against.
Sorry to interrupt this tender made-for-TV moment, but if she sticks around, what does that mean for me? Do you guys like her? More than me?
No, Holly, wait! Please don't leave us.
Of course we love you. Nothing will ever change that.
Yeah, right! With a new cooler Holly with her therapeutic coping skills and badass tattoos. Who needs me around anyway?
Holly, stop. Listen to me, okay? Of course they need you. I need you. I wouldn't be the person I am today without you. Everything you went through, everything you did for Carson, Casey, Mom, Dad, even our brothers. Every funny word I've ever uttered, every ounce of strength I've got. I'm only going to be with you guys here for a little bit longer in this house, but all of those things are things that I'll share with you forever. Besides, without your devious little mind, how else are we going to get Carson to believe that he somehow turned invisible?
I knew you guys could see me!
Holly!
Holly!
Holly! Holly! Holly! Holly! Holly! Holly!
Everybody Knows But Me is a production of Companion Arts and Next Chapter Podcasts. This episode was written by me, Holly Brown. The cold open scene you just heard featured Danny Ross playing my dad, Valerie Tossi playing my mom, Maddie Worth as my sister Casey, Garrett Westcamp as my brother Carson, Casey Rose as me, and Pete Musto as our show's announcer. Sound design for that scene was by Earl Davis. Editing, sound design, and music supervision for the rest of the episode was by Alex Musto. Our associate producer is Ilana Nevins. Our original theme music is by Kyle Murdock. Our show artwork was created by Aaron Hill. Our video producer is Emily Reeves. Our videographer is Dalton Polivka, and our animator is Justin Cortez. Our marketing team is Tink Media, and our executive producers are Jeremiah Tittle and also me, Holly Brown. New episodes of Everybody Knows But Me come out every Wednesday. Go to patreon.com/everybodyknowsbutme to support the show starting at just $5 a month. And follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, youtube.com/@everybodyknowspodcast, or wherever you get great content like ours. Do you have a story of family secrets or darkly funny drama that you want to share? We want to hear it. Email us at everybodyknowspod@gmail.com and make sure you leave us a rating, review, or drop a comment telling us what you like about the dang show. And come back next week to find out what crazy hijinks I'm in for and hear more of the stories we tell ourselves to survive.